Hey kids, you want some candy? Come get it from this white box. Oh, my light's still not on. Hey guys, I'm Callum from CR Inventions, and today I will be showing you a little invention that I created. And I know, this is my 26th video. This channel is called CR Inventions, and this is the first video where I've actually built something. Yeah. Anyway, I have built a candy dispenser to show for you guys today. That way when you're handing out your Halloween snacks, it's a little more interesting and maybe even a little more efficient, but it wouldn't be more efficient with that model. We'll get onto that anyway. So the things I'm going to go over what it is, how it works, and how it could be improved, and then finally, maybe some different ways to dispense your candy to people without having to actually socialize with them. Because as a part-time YouTuber, I don't like to socialize. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a candy dispenser. It's not real, professional. It's extremely DIY, but sometimes DIY is better than professional. In this case, it's a cardboard box with a wooden door and a nail through it, weighed down by some Time and Derby car weights, with a straw and a string. I don't know if you can get more DIY than that, because, it's a cardboard box. These are all like materials anyone could find around their house, which means you could build this if you wanted to. Let's go over how this thing works. Obviously there's a door here, and we want this door to slide open and dispense candy. That's kind of the whole point. So it's pretty simple. You have some guides on the inside, along with a door which, as mentioned earlier, has a screw through it, which is attached to a string and is weighed down by some weights. And when you pull this string in the back, the door opens. And when you let go of the string, it goes back down. It's pretty simple, extremely simple mechanism, held together by a bunch of duct tape, some paper, a cardboard box, and some wood. Some other things that are probably a little bit harder to see from the outside of this box is there's actually a slant, like a inclined plane on the inside of this box, which makes all the candy go to the front automatically. Something I mentioned earlier, there's a guide for the little wooden door to go across, because if I just let it go up and down the string, it would go all over the place and wouldn't land right in front of the hole like it should. So there are some little design things that I thought were pretty good, but obviously since it's so DIY, it's not perfect, it's not professional. In fact, this wasn't even the original box I was going to use. The original box I was going to use is down there, and I'll show you guys the box in a minute, but it was so much easier to cut into and a lot easier to work with that I just decided to go with this. So the original box that I was going to use, because it's bigger and sturdier, was a paper set box. But it's so hard to work with, the plastic's really tough, I couldn't really cut into it, and I didn't have a lot of time to build it. So I just decided to go with the cardboard, since it's easy to cut into, easy to work with, easy to form, all sorts of stuff you'd want in something as simple as my little dispenser. Some other things that I changed was I was going to make it like a lever that you just push down to have the door open, or even like a reel like on a fishing rod, but both those things were too complicated to make within just a couple of hours, so I decided not to do either one of those. And since this box is so DIY, you can probably guess that there are some little problems that I've had to deal with, and just some ways that this thing could be improved. First of all, it's lined with duct tape. You could probably find something better to line it with or hold it together with. It's kind of the same thing with the cardboard box. It's flimsy, and if it gets wet, it's ruined, but that's kind of besides the point. This door, if you slide it up, sometimes it won't go down real easily, which is why I added the weight, but even then, sometimes it doesn't always go down. In a lot of ways, this thing was pretty well designed, if you ask me. Of course, you're probably not going to use it, since if you're just going to hand out candy, all you have to do is put your hand in a bucket and throw it at kids and let them go get it. But I thought it'd be fun just to build this, see if I could do it, see if it would work, see if it'd be of any practical use, but as we can see, it might not be the most practical thing to use. Now, if you want to hand out your candy in a more interesting way, what I would do is I would create a chute, which basically is a long tube that goes down and then out somewhere. So say I were to put a pipe through that window right over there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but if I were to open my window and put a pipe through, I would drop the candy through that pipe and it would just fall out the window. Now that'd be like a really dumb way to hand candy out, because it'd just be like falling out of your window, and that'd be pretty weird. But like if you're the Onceler or something, then that's probably just how you do it. And of course, my candy dispenser isn't a bad idea in theory, but the very little amount of time that I had to build it and the very little materials that I had, that was about the best I could do. I could make it a rod, I could make the door slide up and down easier, I could make it more high tech, but I simply don't have the materials or the money for that, so that's kind of the best we're gonna get. But if you ever want to hand out candy in a more interesting way, I don't think a dispenser is such a bad idea. Of course, mine isn't the most efficient, and if you built one on your own, it probably wouldn't be amazing either. But if you guys have any ideas on how we should hand out candy, or any other inventions relating to Halloween, leave them in the comments. Maybe I'll look at them, maybe I'll at least acknowledge your comment, I don't know. But, more important than comments, you should subscribe. Last time I checked, we're at 98 subscribers. You know how close that is to 100? We're 2 subscribers away. 2. It's kind of crazy to think about. I know, 100 subs, it doesn't seem like a big milestone. It doesn't seem like that many subs, but until you actually do it, it's really hard to do. So I'd like to thank everyone who has already subscribed. You're part of the 100 subscribers gang. But if you haven't subscribed yet, I would subscribe. Maybe you'll be the 100th subscriber. And if you are, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Also, if you are the 100th subscriber, I would comment that. But with all that out of the way, thank you for watching my Halloween video for this year. I'm Callum from CR Inventions, and I'll see you next year. Just kidding, I'll see you guys hopefully next week.